shows en vivo, tu mejor opción en internet, radiocristalusa.com.
Hi, bienvenidos a mi show. Welcome to Catching Up with Claudia. Now, ojalá que se puedan quedar hasta el final para que puedan escuchar lo que va a compartir mi invitada o mi invitado. Así es que no se les olvide también de seguirnos por las redes sociales. Estamos en todas las plataformas. Hasta luego. Hola, hola, ¿cómo están? Soy la super comadre Claudia de radiocristalusa.com and we're back and this is episode number 310. Yes, it's 310. But y antes de empezar, before I get started with my super comadre invitadas, they're women, they're my comadre hermanas. We did a podcast a while back and we're going to slowly bring it back in. But before we bring them on, to see what's going on with my Hey Comadre co-stars, co-podcasters, I want to catch up with you. Catching up with me. Because, you know, life's a little bit crazy right now. And, with what's going on with the política, and tú sabes, I'm always talking about las elecciones, what's going on out there. I listen and I'm just like, what now? I have my chancla right here at the ready to give chanclazos to everything that's going on, but I don't have enough chanclas for what's going on in the politics. But, I realize that the politics, as well as raising teen girls, which by the way, they're awesome teen girls. It's not them, it's me, has not really mixed really well with menopause. But you know what? I'm trying everything. I'm trying everything from Menawake, which is one of my show sponsors. Thank you for all the cremitas and everything. I'm now trying the Pretty Face Cream, part of the Menawake line. So I'm trying to put it on my face, keep myself nice and supple as I go through menopause because things dry up. I'm not going to mention what else dries up. And also, whenever I go out and about, I put on my cookie face lashes just to brighten up my eyes. So I got my cookie face, one of my show sponsors as well. And if you can see my earrings, I got this beautiful earrings on. They're my earrings folclóricos con flores from one of my other show sponsors, Ilsa's Glam Boutique. So I got these earrings from Ilsa's Glam Boutique over at the Cinco de Mayo East End Street Festival. She was there with her sister with Ilsa's Glam Boutique. And I had a chance to get these earrings and sponsored by Ilsa's Glam. So get yourself glammed up, earrings, jewelry by Ilsa's Glam Boutique. You need some makeup, some eyelashes, go to cookieface.com and get your stuff there with her. You are going through menopause, go and get your Menawake products so you can navigate that part of your life because that's where I'm at. #menopause. Now, I also want you to know that I have a disclaimer down there. So anything that is shared by the guests are their own, thoughts, their own shares. They do not reflect the station. And so, yeah, just want to make sure there's a disclaimer. And if there are any escuincles listening, please mándalos a la cama, a dormir, a hacer la tarea, que vayan afuera, porque we're going to talk about things that have to do with grown folks. So make sure that they're out of the earshot. So, yes, this is #cincuentañera era, #hot flash era. And you know what? I'm just going through it. And Comadre Liliana, I want you to pull up a couple of pictures. There's one that says, your life is not on hold. It is still happening every day. Not that one, the other one. Swipe, andale right there. And you know what? I've been thinking about this. I signed on to CoStar, and I know I don't have any type of money coming in with this one. They don't sponsor the show. But anywho, I follow this, and I like reading this. And even though I think that someone's listening and they probably post these things for me to read, but anyways, they still help me because I'm doing everything I can to keep myself going through my hot flash era. But when I read this, your life is not on hold. It's still happening every day. It reminded me to once again embrace the hot flashes, embrace this cambio de vida, because what I've been doing is I've been waiting for all my cremas, for my medicamentos to kick in so I could be the same person I was before I hit menopause. So it's like I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and putting my life on hold. Like, okay, I can't, I'm waiting until everything gets back the way it was, where I can lose the 20 pounds that I gained, right? So that my hair is not so dry again, so that my face is not so dry, so that I'm not feeling so tired and overwhelmed with and not having this brain fog keep me from remembering things. And so I was putting my life on hold, just put and waiting and waiting and waiting. And now, with the support of some of my comadres, one of the things that I've been doing is just embrace it and ride the wave. Yes, ride the hot flash. Yes, stop and pause and put my hand over my heart when I'm starting to feel an anxiety, because that's something else that happened with me, was anxiety with menopause, and tell myself, I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm loved, and I'm capable. And I got that from Mel Robbins, another podcaster that you need to follow and listen, because she gives a lot of great advice and words. So yeah, so I was just holding on to that. And now I'm just like, I'm going to ride this menopause wave as much as I can. And I have been going out and doing a little bit more, especially with my comadres that I'm going to bring on, because we're doing a little reunión, un reencuentro con las comadres of Hey Comadre. And we're going to just catch up. What are they up to? What have they been doing? And what's next with my super comadres, who are also known as hashtag Toxica Spice, which is Ilsa. Where's Ilsa? Let's bring her on. There she
Hello,
is.
everyone.
Ilsa Garcia with NHPO. She is La Mera Mera with NHPO, and she's known as hashtag Toxica Spice. And then I'm going to bring my other amazing Hey Comadre co-star, co-sponsor. Where is hashtag Mamona Spice? There she is.
Hey, everyone. Ya se nos quedó, ¿no?
Pues see, and you know me. The wind blows the wrong way, and I become
Sentida Spice.
I become Sentida Spice. And girls, you have no idea how much more Sentida I have become with menopause. But you know what? I'm just going to ride that wave, because that's what it is.
Just put your floaties on, just in case.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to put my floaties on. Now,
Por
where
si
are my
acaso uno nunca sabe.
No, nunca sabe uno. A ver, ¿dónde están mis comadres? I don't see them. There they are. A ver, okay, we're all together now. Let's hold hands. A ver. So I just want to catch up with you guys, because it's been a while, and I would, and I want to start weaving us back in, because we have still so much to do, so much to share, and I'm coming back. It's been a while, but I've been retreating because I'm like, shit, this politics. Oh, goddamn, this men. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, damn. This menopause. Oh my gosh, my kids are now like, needing me in a different way. And they're 15 and 16. And I always have to say a disclaimer. I always tell my girls, it's not you, it's me. Okay. It's the lack of hormones. Is your mom's gone crazy, but it's not because of you. It's
No, it's because of them. They're at the age where you got two of them at the same time. Hell no, it's them. Them too.
Yeah.
Big for them too.
I will. Yes, you know what? Someone did tell me, Claudia, when they do something, you say, I rebuke that.
Yes.
And I'm like, I keep forgetting to say that, because I want to get in there like, no.
But it gets better. Promise you it gets better, because Kimberly's like over that hump already. She's like at that 21 where, she already went through all the, all those mood swings and I hate the world. And then now she's like back to loving the world, and she's amazing. So I promise you it gets better.
Yes. And I have experienced her when she was 14, 13, 15. And I'm seeing her blossoming and working and doing so many amazing things. So thank you for that reminder, because I put on my floaties, girl. I put on my floaties. I put on the aromatherapy. I put on my Men Awake everywhere. Me tomo mis pastillitas, la cremita, everything. And los tés. I had to stop drinking, though, because I was having too many mimosas.
But it's also good to see you back, Claudia.
Yeah.
These are things
Yes,
that
I love seeing
through.
Sentida Spice like this.
Yeah. It takes sometimes recently I was involved in an event with
Yeah.
all women, where it's okay to retreat and take care of yourself, and then come back more powerful, more ready to tackle on community issues, and ready to
Yeah.
help anybody that needs help. And that's what we all do in this
Yeah.
chat. And so
Yeah.
it's okay to take a break and
Yes.
be back.
And we're back, and I'm slowly coming back. So if you see me like, yeah, let's do this, and then I'm like, I don't think I want to. You know,
One day at a
I'm
time.
trying one day at a time. So now I want to hear from each of you. We'll start off with, Ilsa. You want to start off with, you touched on some things already, like retreating, taking care of you. What have you done? Where were you at to take care of you? And now you're out and about and hitting the ground, or the ground hitting you, or
Everything, right? So I'm so happy to be back, and more than anything, happy to be back with Hey Comadre, with these
yes.
women that are not only I podcast with them, but we serve on plenty of boards together.
Mhm.
And not only that, they're amazing friends that I can always count on. I been resting.
Yeah.
For the past 10 years, I've been helping in the community by putting on events, creating events, helping and volunteering those that need the help. I took some time for myself a few months ago, and just to really take care of yourself, and also kind of realize where do you want to go? Like, where do you want to go? And sometimes we lose that speed, or that way, that path that we're on. But I'm happy to say that I love what I do. I'm very happy helping our community. And more than anything, with NHPO, the National Hispanic Professional Organization, which I've served as chair, now president, for now the third year. And we are back. We're back in business. We are back creating events. We recently had a very successful event, where we showcase small business owner, women small business
Mhm.
owners, and gave them the opportunity, alongside with some amazing speakers and coaches, to give them feedback, how they speak about their business, how they showcase their business. And it was very successful. And we have our event was at the Cowboys and Indians. And so we found a great place to have our networking events. And we're back in June, but now we're showcasing the same idea now with men. So, men, if you're out there, you
Oh,
have a small
yes.
business, contact us. Let us
Mhm.
know. Pitch to us what you're selling, what you're giving, what you are showcasing, and let us help you, alongside with some amazing coaches and the board of NHPO, to help you, um, just to move you forward. And we continue to create events from here on down every month. And also, we're ready for our 20th year anniversary of NHPO at the aquarium in September. And we have some really great platforms going on with NHPO. We're the only Latino organization invited on September 16th, Mexican Independence, at the Capitol in Austin. So we'll be there.
That is wonderful. I am so looking forward, because it was something different that we tried and we did, and it was amazing to see that, like, to step back and to see people, really listening to the feedback that the coaches were giving, that the guest panel, because the guest panel consisted of people that are in marketing, people that are business owners, leaders in their own business, and just, people were like, you could hear a pin drop, because they were really just listening to what they were giving the two women that were pitching.
Absolutely. And Claudia, networking, everybody has a networking event. So
Mhm.
we have to keep up with the times and what is needed. And that we have to keep up with the climate now of what is needed in our community. So yes, it is important for us to connect. That is our number one mission, is to
Mhm.
connect you, to businesses, to people, to your new ventures in life, whether it be career, whether it be business. So NHPO had to step back a little bit. We had to analyze what we wanted to do. And now we're back offering these great networking events that are open to everyone. And you will see on our platform, follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on anything, any platforms. Follow us for our next event in June.
In June. So more information to come, because we are looking for a few good men.
Absolutely. We always
Wink,
are.
wink.
But we're going to get to that one at Hey Comadre.
Yes.
That's
This
for a
is just
later
the
time.
beginning.
Let me just add this and I'll end my part. With NHPO is also very we help our community.
Mhm.
Sometimes you don't see our events, but we are out as a board in the
Yeah,
community, partnering up with great organizations like Raíces Unidas, the
absolutely.
International Women's Festival, the Frida Festival, Shoes for Kids. You will see NHPO, the board of NHPO. Recently, we launched the women of NHPO, and next up is the men of NHPO, where we do give back to our community while food distribution, giving back in any way that we possibly can. That
Mhm.
is a mission of NHPO, is to give back to our community. So
Yeah.
catch us at these events. We are there. The board, which is you girls,
Yeah.
along with Virgie, Alex Carmelo, Frank Rodriguez, Angel Flores, and Chris Sanchez. We all go out on separate ways, sometimes together, but we are here to give back to our community. So follow us on our
Absolutely.
platforms and see where we're at.
All right. So thank you so much for giving us that update. We're going to be sharing it here as well so that people can connect, sign up, and get ready to come pitch their business and get some amazing feedback from some amazing guest panelists that are going to be judging and giving feedback. So now I'm going to bring in my comadre, my hashtag Mamonas Pais. How is life? How has life been treating you? How is Raíces Unidas going? And, what's next?
Well, hey everyone. I've missed being on La Super Comadre show and my Hey Comadre sisters. I mean, I don't, not that I don't miss y'all because I see y'all all the time. Right? I see you guys all the time. Who are we kidding, right? Like Ilsa said, this weekend we were with NHPO and Raíces Unidas at Finca Tres Robles, just volunteering because they have a community farm. And yeah, we were there organizing all of the volunteers. So like Ilsa said, we're always in the community, even though, sometimes we may not be on social media, but all of us board members are constantly getting involved, constantly making sure that we're serving our community, because that's what we all do in one way, shape, or form. So yeah, and I'm very grateful to you guys, because you guys always follow my ideas. Anytime I just throw something at you guys, you're like, okay, Marianne, you guys know my heart. And you know that I'm never going to steer you in the wrong direction. But Raíces Unidas. So we we're still kind of like at the end tail of Project Prom. This is our 4th annual year. And every year it's kind of progressed. And I'm so grateful and so thankful to be surrounded by so many amazing people that believe in Raíces Unidas and believe in my mission, which is connecting people to resources. And so 4 years ago, it started where we just wanted to, we know that prom is an exciting milestone in a senior's life, but sometimes, in the communities that we serve, families are just trying to survive, right? And just trying to take care of the basics, like food on the table, a roof over their family's head. So the last thing that they're worried about is prom. And I feel like these seniors have worked so hard and earned this pivotal moment in their life that they shouldn't have to worry whether or not they can afford it. So 4 years ago, we all go to banquets, to galas, and we never wear our dresses twice. And if you say you do, you're so lying. So anyway, so we started collecting dresses. You guys helped me collect dresses, and we were able to help a lot of young ladies. And it just kind of evolved. For the next year, we included our young men, and we had sponsors for them. And then it evolved to doing a whole glam squad and haircuts, and to like, this is the 4th year. And so last year, part of Project Prom, we also included scholarships. And so this year, when it came time to like pick who I wanted to award the scholarships to, which is never easy, because first of all, I don't go based on academics, because just because you're not a straight A student, it does not mean that you shouldn't get assistance to go to college or to attend university. So I've always based it on civic engagement, right? Volunteering, just making yourself available within the community, just those type of activities. And this year, when I was looking at the applications, I was like, man, I don't want to just give, scholarships to just a selected few. So I was like, how can I impact all of the seniors? And at that point, we were creating the prom store at our community center, based out of Ama. And I was like, what if we just pay for the whole prom? And now paying for their whole prom allows everyone to participate, but then also they get to participate in other senior activities that they probably wouldn't be able to afford because they had to pay for prom. And so I figured that was a way that I can impact all of the seniors. So we did it for 2 schools, and you guys made my heart smile because you guys made it happen. Y'all helped me. When I came to you guys with the idea, you were like, okay, what do you need us to do? Like, y'all never ask questions ever. Y'all just go with it. And I love that about y'all, because we just figure it out one way or another. And we did, we found the location. We got the food sponsored. We had a glam squad. They had the best prom ever, and it was amazing. And then on top of that, our prom shops is still open. And so so I've even had like some students from Pasadena come, from South Houston come. So I just decided to leave it open through the month of May. So because it's not only prom, there's like, award ceremonies, there's, sports banquets. And I just want to be able to help whomever needs it, right? To just take advantage of it because it's there, and why not, Yeah. So it's beautiful. And I sleep well. I don't sleep very often. I don't sleep a lot, but when I do sleep, y'all know that. But when I do sleep, I get to be able to rest my head on a pillow and just smile, because I was able to just create a little bit of happiness in a very deserving kid's life, And you guys helped me. I mean, you guys have always helped me, and so many different community partners that feed into Raíces Unidas that without these community partners, there's absolutely no way that we can create the impact that we've been able to create in these 6 years. I mean, literally from the day we started Raíces Unidas to now, I think we've impacted, a little under 20,000.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah.
I mean, each holiday season, it's kind of progressed. I mean, it started from like 33 kids to like last year, it was 4 entire schools, then 5 families, then Ilsa's clinic. I mean, it's just grown so much. And I cannot tell you that I am fortunate, I am blessed, and I am just a lucky girl to be surrounded by so many people that believe in Raíces Unidas.
And what you're talking about, you're talking about the Christmas, because not only do you do the prom, because you have like several signature events. You got the prom, you've got, now the Christmas experience that goes to the different schools, which started off with 1 school 1 year with just a few kids.
Yeah. So it started off with 33 kids. I remember walking into JP Henderson, and that year, you guys, that I'm always doing something. And, that year I was extremely blessed. It went really well for me because, besides civically engagement, I have my healthcare career as well. And so I'm like, I want to help somehow. So I just walked into JP Henderson and I spoke with the wraparound specialist, and I told her, this is what I want to do. Where is the need at? How can I help? And she introduced me to a community, Brookdale Village. And, she introduced me to these families from Guatemala, and she just kind of told me all of the hardships that they were going through. And I just could not believe that in the 4th largest city in this nation, with so many resources available, that these kids didn't have access to a jacket or shoes.
I remember that. Yeah.
I was floored when she told me that.
Just the bare necessities.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that was the day that I said, oh, hell no. I reached out to you guys, and I'm like, guys, like, we need to do something about this. And, we did. We were able to sponsor all of those kids. And then the next year I said, I want to do it again. And we did it bigger and better. And it's been like that every year. We've done it bigger and better. And God willing, we'll continue to do it as long as I can, and as long as people continue to believe and feed into Raíces Unidas.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you touched on so many things that are just that reminded me of what Ilsa said in the beginning, is stepping back to take care of yourself, because it's in our nature, I guess, to see something, we see something and we try to do something, whether it's reaching out or connecting with others and using our platforms, our connects, our friends, to move through finding a way to meet a need. But you mentioned you also, Marianne, said about whenever I get a chance to lay my head on the table, I get a chance to rest. And I'm gonna bring this up because I think this is so necessary in the work that we're doing. Because you just mentioned about meeting the needs of kids that needed bare necessities taken care of. And I hate that we're in the current political climate, but seeing that we do have a current political climate that's affecting la gente that we're already supporting, seeing that there's probably going to be more need. What are you doing, or what do you have in mind to do to take care of you? Like, when do you know it's time to step back? When do you know it's time to lay my head on the pillow and just say, okay, Marianne is out right now. My hours of operation are this and this. I need to scale back. I need to just take care of me. And you too, Ilsa, and even myself. I've had to go through that, because I was going to ask y'all, and this is what I was even dealing with. I dealt with a little bit of FOMO, like, I'm missing out. I'm not, but I know that my body was telling me, sit your ass down.
Well,
so what are you doing now to keep your back, right? You're moving forward. How do you take care of yourself?
I do like that you bring this up, but with everything in life, whether it be a friendship, relationship, whatever it may be, when it's no longer brings you joy, when you feel like it's a chore and not something that you want to do, that is your time. That is you knowing that you need to take a step back. When you are like dragging and saying, I have to go, there's no need for that. There is absolutely no need for that, because we love what we do. I love helping a community. I love seeing people smile. I work in an environment where the elderly with the elders, and they smile and they hug you, and then you just get this like, that's what I want to see. And we see this in with teenagers at the prom. I mean, to sit back and Marianne can, and you too, Claudia, can agree with that. We sit back. We're not there in the middle. We sit back and we see them so happy, right? And even the kids, when they receive their toys and the snow is falling, and this whole experience. I tend to sit back all the time and kind of stand in the corner and look at it and say, you know what? Wow, that is amazing. Like, that is amazing. And that's what I want to feel every day. When I do not feel like that it's something that I want to do, that is your sign, or your body, or
like
yourself, step back a little bit, because and again, one thing that I always say, we don't get paid for this at all, and I don't want to get paid for this. I don't. We do it because we enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And enjoying it, right? When you feel like you're not enjoying it, it's okay. Then lock yourself in a room and take a nap. It's okay. It's okay. And you know what? Everything will be there. It'll be there the next time.
I like that. I like I wrote down your quote, because someone might need this. Me too. With joy versus chore. That could even, I like that. And what about you, my comadrita, my homies?
So
when do you know it's time to take a break, take a step back, reflect? Like, I got to take care of me now.
Ilsa mentioned something that really resonated with me, and that was we find joy in this. It's not really work, I have the luxury, and I say luxury because not everybody gets to wake up every day. And, there's two sides of Marianne, right? There's the trauma nurse Marianne, and then, that deals with emergency medicine. And then there's the civic engagement Marianne, which I have the privilege, because it is a privilege, to also work in that environment. And it's it's work, it's a job, but I don't look at it as a job because I find true joy in doing it. So, I mean, there's times where I'm the last person leaving the building and, I'm asked, aren't you like tired or aren't you, why are you still here? I don't see it as work. Like, this is what I would do for fun, the only difference is I'm actually getting paid to do it. And that's a luxury, because not everyone gets to have that privilege to say I get paid to do what I love to do. And I feel like my higher power, God, has put me in this position because I truly find joy in doing that. And when, like Ilsa said, sometimes when we're in the middle of these events that we've worked very hard to put together, and even then, it's part of work, but it doesn't feel like work, right? I do sit back and I look at just all the beauty and all of the joy that comes out of it. And actually, of all the years that I've been doing this, there's one situation or one instant where I'm like, man, this is worth it, that happened. And it was actually one of your patients, Ilsa, our last holiday experience when we were at your clinic at Su Vida. And there was this older lady, era la abuelita, I don't know whose abuelita it was, someone's. She hugged me and she said, gracias, mija, porque siempre he querido ver nieve y nunca tuve la oportunidad. Y esta es la única oportunidad que voy a poder ver nieve. Man, like I had to step away. I had to go to the restroom and I cried like a little. I cry anyways. I cry forever.
And I would like to add,
like anytime I'm happy, or even like when I'm asked to do public speaking, I try not to, but I cry all the time.
Absolutely.
And, but that moment was like, damn, it's all worth it, like the long hours, even, and even with Project Prom, like that day, a close friend was getting married and you guys came to the rescue, by the way. Thank you so much. If it weren't for you guys and all of the Garcia family, Garcia sisters, I don't know how I would have pulled it off, but going, I literally took that day of prom, I Ubered about 6 times.
How many?
To the wedding, back to the venue, back to the wedding. Back to the venue. Like, I literally did it like 6 times. And then I had like 3 teams going. I had the glam squad going. I had the decorations team going. I had to be at the wedding. There's a lot going on. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's worth it because these kids just got to experience and they deserve it, And so,
of course,
it was one day of like, just get over it. You'll be fine,
But
so that's how I feed my soul. And there is times where, I do need to take a break, but it's not a break because I'm exhausted. It's more of a like emotional, mental, spiritual break because I'm overwhelmed with emotions and
you're absorbing. And
I have to, and usually after a big event like that, I have to take time to process all of the emotions because the amount of emotion that runs through us after an event like that is a lot. It truly is a lot. And I kind of like cocoon myself for like a whole day or two after the fact because I need to process. And that's how I kind of take care of me. And then also I'll leave to Monterrey for a little while.
And travel.
I'll go to my safe place in Monterrey and I'll escape for a few days. And that's how I take care of me. That's my safe space.
I love it. You're getting some great gems, that someone could, need. Even myself, I'm always learning because, as I go through, as I'm riding the menopause wave, one of the things that I miss is going out and doing things, but I know that my body is also telling me, okay, there's only so much you can do. So preserve your energy because you've got these 2 teens that need you. But also, I like what you said, when you said earlier, you said joy. Like, I look at, okay, what brings me joy? Because now I can't say yes to everything like I want to. So I had to be a little bit judicious and say, okay, what brings me immediate joy? And I'm going to do those things and then still run around and try and get my girls where they need to be. But you said being in a cocoon for a day, I like that. Just if you have the luxury and the privilege to do that, and we do, to take advantage of that, get away, even if it's down the street to a cafe or down to Monterrey, do something, right?
Down to Monterrey, down the street.
Right. Taking care of you. I think that's so important because we have so much more to do, we're doing it, we're getting out there, we're being part of these boards, we're doing the collections, we're doing the distribution, we're doing the setting up, and we're also, some of us have, folks, men, partners on the side, kids,
Great. That's hey,
yeah.
comadre.
We're going to start weaving it in. So I'm going to close this section with honoring and remembering, that we have to honor ourselves, honor our bodies, our minds, our souls, because you're right. We do absorb, even if it's an NHPO event. I have to go and cocoon myself sometimes, be in front of people. And I love my work. I have a job that I can actually take naps in between meetings because I need it, because I'm freaking old in my fucking menopause. But anyways, but I have the privilege, and I have to remember to take advantage of that. You said something like, get away, cocoon yourself. And the thing is that I get lost in the work. I'm over here doing all the stuff and connecting people to the what I do. And I talk to a lot of people. I love talking to a lot of people. And then I do facilitator training. I train people and I do demos, and I love it because it's like networking. I'm taking what I learned at NHPO and I'm networking this program. But then I forget and I get lost in the work, and I still come home and I have my laptop on and I'm still doing things. And I'm like, shit, it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it gets late. And then
I don't
have to have a work-life balance.
And I was going to ask y'all, I need to learn that work-life balance. How do you do it? Because earlier, Isa, you did say, I don't have my laptop. And I even said, and rightfully so. Yeah. What are some boundaries that we could all learn that you implement so that you know that I'm done, I got to cocoon, or I got to log off?
Well,
what do you got to do?
I'll start with this, and I'll end it with this as well on this segment. Love yourself first and foremost. It's taking years. It's not something that happens overnight. You have to love everything about yourself. Literally love yourself, and that, that's so cliche. Like, oh, I love it. No, really. I love things about myself. I love a lot of things about myself.
Yeah.
But the work home balance is something that has been very important to me. When you are replaceable in this life, okay? Said that, whether it be in a relationship, whether it be in a job, okay? The next day something happens to you, you will be replaced. It's just the way life works, right? So take care of yourself. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. And the way that you love yourself is by closing that laptop, shutting down that phone, and being with the people that you love if you want to. If you want to, surround yourself with friends and family that are close to you. If you don't want that, just be with yourself. Be comfortable with yourself. Be comfortable in your skin. Do a self-care day. I love to do skincare. And I love just to be by myself, because I am constantly surrounded by so many people that when I'm not with people, I literally watch TV, take care of my skin, drink water. I find things to do. But most importantly, I learned to really, really appreciate myself, my time, myself. I talk to myself. I mean, you are comfortable being by yourself.
I love it. I had to drink my water. Right now when you said water, I say, what's said?
You talk to yourself. I love it. Do you answer yourself too?
Yes. Me? Yeah. She's like, have a conversation. Ahora, a ver.
Conversations.
How do you?
You know what? For me, one thing, boundaries for sure. I do not, and I will not connect my work, even though I love what I do, and I don't even consider it work because I love it, but I still will not add that email account to my phone because ya me conozco, and I will, if a notification comes in, I will check it, and then it will be in the back of my brain, and it won't allow me to just do what I would, be doing at the time, and then I want to answer the email. And no, there has to be boundaries, and it's taken me a long time to figure that out. but I also know, what those boundaries look like. You have to be able to identify what that looks like for you. Like Ilsa said, if you want to surround yourself with, people, it's knowing, identifying what it looks like, knowing what those boundaries are. For me, I mean, I don't really watch TV. I don't, by the time I get home, I'm just kind of like, I will literally lay on my couch or on my bed and I will stare at the ceiling, but that's just how I process.
That's your okay.
Yeah, that's just me. That's just me processing. Or I'll just walk around, singing, and that's just how I process, and then I've got my 13-year-old telling me, Mom, I'm like, whatever, kid. And what's wrong with me,
I love it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but definitely that. Like, I do not connect my email to my personal phone. I completely have two separate, and I hate carrying two phones, but it's necessary because if not, then I wouldn't know how to distinguish those boundaries. That is a must. And then I am an avid believer of self-care days. I have to every 2 weeks. I mean, it's my nails, a pedicure, my lashes. Like, I have my routine, and and every morning I have to have my coffee. My day will not be the same if I do not have my coffee. That is what sets the tone for me. That's just my routine. I'm a creature of habit sometimes, and I have to. I need it. I just need it. I mean, the world's not going to end if I don't have it.
But
it's gonna bug me. But it's gonna bug me for sure.
It'll be better with it. Okay.
For everyone around me.
So thank you. I'm learning. I'm hoping that whoever is listening to this, rebroadcast the podcast is listening to the importance of, even though you're out there doing the work, you're putting yourself out there, whether it's you're doing, you have a nonprofit, you're also working and you love your work and you're doing both, right? I heard boundaries. I heard making sure that you have some self-care days. And it might look different for everyone, even if you're just laying on the couch. Now, I heard love yourself. And this is so impactful because, you are replaceable. You are replaceable, so take care of you, close that laptop, close that phone, and be comfortable with yourself and surround yourself with whatever it is that you need. Well, or if it's quietness, surround yourself with quietness on the couch. If it's family, surround yourself with family, right? If it's your kids, surround yourself with your kids. Lo que sea, just find something. So thank you for saying that, because someone, even me, is listening and learning. So I want to just bring us back and before we go into the Hey Comadre segment, but I want to show something that is very near and dear, and it's his heart, and all of us got one. And I want to give a shout out, and Ilsa, I want you to also, if you want to say a few words to the woman behind the heart, because she says something that was very impactful. And I still have the card that says here, we are the hearts of our communities and our voices are the rhythm that makes them thrive. So I am honored to have been invited to this table that for this luncheon that takes place every year. And this is a luncheon and that, it brings in a lot of money, and that is then distributed to some amazing organizations. One of them was Small Places, which is where you guys were at over the weekend. But he said, you don't mind sharing just a little bit about this amazing woman and how it's so true that we are the rhythm. We are the rhythm that makes the community thrive, and how we need to also take care of our heart. I mean, it all connects, taking care of our little heart. I have this lane. I like to wear flowers on my dresser. I have all my flowers. I pick a flower every day. And on top of it, I put the heart, and it's like laying on top of the flowers. And I see it every day. Yeah. So thank you.
Yes, a big shout out to my great friend Marisol Salazar. If anybody is watching here, of course, we all know Mari. She is my rodeo sister, Go Tejano, the Go Tejano committee. I've been on that committee for 10 years, and she's been there more than that. And we have connected not only through the rodeo, but also through our civic.
Oh, I think we lost her.
We lost the Comadre. Okay.
Always having the whole Latinas. She always loves to have powerful Latinas at her table, and I've been with her for many years, and you as well, Claudia. And then this year we added on
We added La Comis, Marianne.
Excited to meet you. She was so excited to know about you in Raíces Unidas.
Mhm.
And it was so great to always connect with the women at that table. Thanks to Mari, we have been able to meet some amazing women that not only are just seat fillers with us, but they've become our friends. We look forward to this luncheon because we get to see each other and we get to talk about our lives. But a big shout out and a big thank you and a big hug to Mari Salazar. Thank you so much for always thinking about us and being and wanting us around you and the amazing person that you are, and introducing us to some amazing women that have now become sisters to us. So big shout out, big hug to Mari Salazar.
Yes, thank you, Mari. Thank you. Thank you for our hearts. And I love that reminder. It's a reminder of taking care of our hearts. That's what I loved about this. And she always gives us a little trinket every year. And I still have the one she gave us last year, but this one, when I saw it, and I'm
love
like,
it.
It's like, it's a reminder of making sure you love yourself first, making sure you remind yourself that you're replaceable. You got to take care of your heart, because you're gone, someone else is going to be taking your place. Closing that laptop and the phone to take care of your heart. Making sure you have your boundaries to take care of your heart. Making sure you have your self-care days, your mani-pedi lashes, your coffee, and that's taking care of your heart. And so I like that reminder. So thank you, Ilsa, for that amazing story about Mari Salazar. And I'd love to have her on here one day as well.
Yeah.
So she can share all the work that she's doing, from rodeo to the board she's on, to, the different organizations that she's, connected with and supported and elevated. So now, disclaimer,
Dun, dun, dun.
we're moving into a space that we haven't been in a long time. So now we're going to come back to bringing out Mamona Spice, Toxica Spice, and Sentida Spice. So again, make sure, Marianne used to do the disclaimer for the squinkles.
I did. So if you have any kids under the age of 18, mándalos a dormir, mándalos a hacer la tarea, mándalos
early.
Porque they don't need to listen to this. It's past their bedtime anyway. So full disclosure is advised.
Super advised. It's daylight. What do you mean I'm supposed to
Dale madre, mándalos a dormir. They don't
Right.
need to
Poor
listen.
kiddos.
So we're balancing work life. What about love life? What about,
Hey, but we have to start off with our hey, comadre.
Hey, come on. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Hey.
Wait.
Oh, where's Isa?
Where's Isa?
I'm right here.
Okay.
Did you want to like log out and log back in? Because we can't see you.
Ooh, no. Hold on. Let me see what's going on.
Okay.
That's not good.
Okay. Here we go. Now turn it.
Ándale,
Perfect.
así.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Hey,
comadre.
comadre.
So we know all about our work stuff and how that's going with our nonprofit stuff. So let's talk about life stuff. Who would like to share first?
As I always kick it off, right? Because
Isa.
I feel like I'm the least controversial in this.
Really?
Wow. Okay.
Hey, comadre. And we always have an amazing topic. And I always think of the topics, right? Because I'm always involved in all these craziness, right?
Yes. What's the topic?
But one of the things that I would like to add to this, but Marianne is not part of, but heading that way. It's now learning to date in your 50s.
Oh.
So, that is where I'm at. I am 49 years old. We'll be turning 50 in December. I made it this far, right? How amazing is that? What a blessing.
It is.
But I turn now into dating in my 50s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
You're
I would
not
like
there
to say
yet.
that if we bring back Hey Comadre, let's have a segment, dating in your 50s, dating in your late 40s and your mid 40s, because it's so different than dating in your 30s and 20s.
Absolutely.
In your 30s, you're kind of like, okay. In your 20s, you're just having fun. In your 40s, you want something. But now in your 50s, I think we revert back to our 20s. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Now it's
I'm gonna get married
mindset
soon
is
because I don't want
different.
to go back to my 20s.
Yeah, no, your mindset is different. I know that Comadre Claudia talks a lot about menopause at this age, but at the same time, you're going into other things about being 50, right? And it's not just, like menopause, but it's more like a clarity about what you want. You're like now more focused. It's like, this is what I want. I don't want anything else. Thank you so much. I got this, right? When it's just not convenient for you. But, you already reach an age where you already can take care of yourself, right? You're not looking for someone to take care of you, but you're looking for somebody to compliment.
Oh, I like that.
Compliment you. I think what it should have been said was be taken care of in a different way.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You no longer need all this, all that, and you're very focused at the age of 50, but also at the same time, you just don't care anymore. You're just like, I got this. I don't really need you for buying a home, right? I don't need you for getting credit on a car or whatever it is, right? Whatever it is that you're looking for. You're just looking for a partner to compliment you and to have an amazing life with.
So who's the partner that you're complimenting?
There isn't one.
Not yet? Okay.
So there isn't one.
Just checking. It's been a while.
I am open still. I've always been the single girl on this show. I continue to be the single girl on this show until the right person comes along. It's not to say that I've met some amazing people along the way, some amazing men along the way. But, we are all looking for commitment. And until then, we will continue to search for the right partner.
I'm going to bring it back to menopause, because menopause does, for some, make you feel even more like, I don't really care. Like, oh, you're here? Okay. That's great, because I feel crazy now. So I'm glad you met me when I wasn't really crazy.
At this age, it takes a really great man to understand and compliment what you're going through, right?
Absolutely.
And vice versa, because men get menopause as well.
In a different way.
In a different way. Don't let them engañarnos. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Go through a lot. Okay. They're very, very like, but to say, they go through something as well, and you have to deal with that as well. They go through midlife crises, where they're like booming up on a Porsche or something, and you're like, oh, settle down. But and we women go through another thing. But
it's andropause.
Exactly. But dating in my late 40s, early 50s, it's going to be a great segment that we can revisit back at Hey Comadre when we do get a chance. Because
absolutely,
not to say that I have not met a great person. We've all met great people. But until, we find a committed relationship, then we will say names and we will, bust the ¿cómo se llama? The confetti,
the champagne, the confetti, and all that.
Absolutely. But
right now, the toes, all that good stuff.
What are we doing with the toes?
That. So, Toxica Spice is still open for opportunities. I'm still open until, we have a committed relationship. And I will continue going on these dates and bringing back to you guys. And to Hey Comadre.
I love it.
Dating experience and dating in your 50s.
So my experience is going to be dating with your menopausing, and you really don't care because you're already 50. And then you're like, oh, okay.
All right.
Crazy.
Who's up next?
All right. So
Mamona Spice.
Mamona Spice. You're up.
I'm going to live up to my name and say Mamona. I'm going to live up to my name and just stick with the Mamona Spice. Well, I'm not quite at 50. I'm at 42. And I enjoy listening to my Toxica Spice dating advice and, all the things, right? I think that at my age dating, I think I date with intention. You guys know I was married for 22 years, and, I like the whole idea of like the white picket fence, and I don't like the maintenance of the house. It's just, I don't like that part, but I've created a beautiful life for myself. And so I just need, something that my dad has always told my sister and me is that put yourself in a situation you want to be, not that you have to be. And I feel like I've created that situation for me. I'm just trying to, there has to be that person to complement, that. So that's kind of where I am in life. I don't really, I can provide for myself. Of course, do I want, but I do want to find someone that, I can build a life with, and that I can share the fruits of my labor, and we can share and build together. That's where I am in life right now. I'm not saying that, who's to say that that's going to happen? I don't know. But in a perfect world, yes, I would remarry. In a perfect world, I would live that happily ever after. But I don't know. We'll see.
Uh-huh.
I love this
Dun,
because
dun,
you know what? This gives
dun.
a platform to Hey Comadre coming back,
I
right?
know.
That's
I
right.
know.
That's
But
right.
until then,
Before
I will
you
keep
start,
my
Claudia.
name as Mamona Spice, and I will live up to my Mamona Spice name.
Well,
Before we
forget
get
where I
to
got the name
Claudia
to
and
begin
where
with.
she's at, let's just put it this way. One of my biggest topics that I would love to have our listeners and our viewers right now start dropping hints, stop dropping comments, start doing that, is the word titles. I recently got into this huge conversation about titles not being important. Titles are
No.
very
Yes,
important.
they're
Not
fucking
only
Yes, they
important.
even in
are.
your job. We
Yeah.
are
Yes, they
known as
are.
the manager. We are known as this.
La
In
directora,
a
la
family, I'm
subdirectora,
known as the little sister, as the tia.
la
It's a
tía,
title.
somebody.
In a relationship, how important are titles?
Is it
Do you want to
important?
be known as the girlfriend? Do you want
Fucking
to know as the situationship?
Yeah,
Or
no.
do you
Yeah,
want
you're
to
right.
be known the wife? What do you want to be known as in your relationship?
because then you're going to end up in a situationship which you're not really, you don't have a say in anything that other person does.
Yeah.
Not that you want to have a say, but I mean, just the respect, right? Like, just
Absolutely.
that mutual respect for one another. I'm not asking for your permission, but I'm just letting you know.
Pues, dame mi lugar.
No, dame mi lugar.
Absolutely.
I
Dame mi
like
lugar.
that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's conversation that I want to have, or a topic, and you can figure out where along the segment we'll have it. Pero los casi algos. Pero ¿por qué existen los casi algos? It's a thing.
Absolutely.
Casi pero
It's
no.
a thing.
Casi pero no. I like. Okay, so that's what you're confronting that.
Los
Yeah.
casi
Let's put
algos.
it out there for our listeners.
Because
I love
los
it.
casi algos
Let's go back
are the
to
ones
Hey
that don't want to
Comadre
give
and then-
titles.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How important are titles in your life?
How
And,
important are they? Yeah.
whenever we graduate or we get hired to a job, they're like, you will now be the corporate manager of the finance department. That's a title. And guess what? We go celebrate it, right? Hey, girls, guess what I am now? I am the executive director of blah, 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 blah. And we celebrate that.
Oh my
So
God, I never
why
saw
are we
that
not-
parallel. That is a great parallel. And you know what? This is great to give comadres that need to have that conversation. And maybe they're not comfortable enough to just bring it out there like a sentida like me. But this is great. Like, hey, I would like a top, titles, when you're working, you have a title. F it. If you're like the garbage collector, even a garbage collector has a title.
Yeah, but
the driver has a title.
Why are we
Everybody has a title.
But you know what?
I'm
I'm of the mentality that if you have to ask, what am I? That's your answer.
True.
Absolutely,
That too.
Marianne.
That's your
I
answer.
agree with you 100%. And that ties back into what we started, self-love. Don't ever ask. Don't ever ask. Don't ever beg. Don't ever put yourself in a position where you're going to feel hurt, because there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely no reason. But let's get back to Claudia.
Oh, I have a story.
Oh gosh.
No, back to the title. We're going to talk about titles. No, so far, so good. Everything is great. There were some, of course, in the beginning, there was a lot of like, what's going on? And what is, okay, yes, no, maybe so. Oh, no, I don't want, yeah, no, okay. And then I relaxed. And I think that's part of my issue, is that I am a person that wanted to drive my personal life the way I drive my work life. I don't know if, you've ever.
Absolutely.
Like in work, in school, you want an A, you work for that A, you get that A. You want that job, you want that title, you work for it, you put yourself out there, you talk. And it's like, then you turn over here and you do the same thing with your personal life. You're like, oh, why isn't it working? I told them what I wanted, or I expected this because I worked really hard, and it's just not the same. And, but their communication is still the same. You still need to communicate, but it's the way I learned a lot, you know, with this relationship. Like, okay, how to say what I need to say. I learned from the past situationships, you know, what, you know, to keep an eye on things. And I remember the first time when we were at an event and I was introduced as, I wasn't really introduced, but we were having there was a conversation happening, and I was a hostess at a party, and he came to this party, and this is when he first would come. I'm going to be at this place. You can come hang out. And I was kind of looking at him to see, like, what is this? And I remember coming up to the group where he was sharing about what he does. And then the lady he was talking to, and there's some other ladies, there was a lot of ladies. And then they looked at me and said, oh, and who are you? Like, I don't, very claridosas. And then he goes, oh, this is Claudia. She's a creative. And I was like, what? What do you mean?
Did you take your chancla off and throw it at him?
Do you know how hard it was for me to keep my shit together, because I was a hostess of the party. I was a hostess, and I was over here like, would you like something to drink and whatever? And then I'm like, I just came like just to say hi and you need a drink. And then, oh, ¿y tú quién eres? Like the way she said it though, that's like someone trying to figure out like, oh, who's this? And who's this girl that's next to you? I want to see, because I want to see if he's available. That's what that was. And Claudia back then, Sentida Spice got really sentida, and she wasn't that bocona, but she learned. And then I just mistreated him instead of saying, and he didn't even know what was going on. And then finally I grabbed my makeup bag, and he's like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm done. And you know what really pissed me off is I saw someone else I was in a situationship with who was there, and he was making it very known that this was his person. And I'm like, wait, no, this is not right. I'm not gonna go through that again. I'm out of here. I grabbed my makeup bag, and my makeup was flying everywhere. And here he comes running behind me, picking up my makeup and putting it in the bag. He goes, are you okay? What's going on? I'm like, a creative? Really? That's what I am? Well, yeah, but you're creative. You're very creative.
Yes, I am.
And I'm like,
thanks for reminding me.
Do you know what she was doing?
Do you know also psycho, motherfucker. Did you do you?
So, hey, but then I learned right away. And, you know, instead of, he just held me and said, okay, what's going on? And I said, well, this and that and that. He goes, look, these are your friends. I don't know. I'm just learning. What do you want me to say? And I told him. He's like, okay, that's what I'll say.
Communication is key.
Communication is key.
Communication is important.
And I had to balance the sentida part
Absolutely.
of me with
but
communication.
You know, it's a great topic. Titles are important, whichever way you want to see it. And what's important is that, you know, that we could continue searching until we find the right person.
Absolutely.
You're a penguin.
So I'll leave my part by saying this.
Or that it just shows up too. Like it shows up, you know, because usually it's like when you least expect it with the person you least expected. So.
And I'll leave Hey Comadre on my part. My final goodbye is that, hey, we always meet great people. I meet amazing men all the time. I meet people all the time.
We'll just leave that right there.
You know what? And so that person is able to commit to you and be with you, and publicly and privately, however you want to see it.
Absolutely.
You know, I say always continue looking for the right person. Life is too short to be sad. Life is too short. And so continue looking. I would love to come back to Hey Comadre and go ahead and give it all to y'all. How my dating life is in my 40s, late 40s, early 50s.
Early 50s.
Yeah.
All right. So welcome back to
Marianne.
That. We'll talk about the dating life and, you know, all that great stuff.
Yes, life.
Love yourself. Ladies, no situationships. Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's more to life than that.
Clear communication.
Absolutely.
Clear communication, you know, and balance the heart and the mind. The logical and the heart, because that's something too, you know, to share. Like even, you know, inside you have your younger nieces and nephews, Marianne, you and I, we have kids, so the more that we learn and the more that we model, the better off they will be. And that's the whole goal, is that those that are younger than us are 1,000 times better than us. And we passed that we went through the fight, and we went through the currents, and then now they get a chance to learn from us and hopefully, take it farther.
All right. And that's how Hey Comadre will go.
That's right.
We are happy to be back. And Claudia, thank you for bringing us back to recap what's going on. And thank you for letting us showcase our organizations and what we are doing in the community. We hope to see all of you in the community and helping us volunteer to make this a way better community for all of us. I love what all three of us do.
Yes,
we often do it together. And so that is something that I cherish, because we not only do it by ourselves, but we do it with your family, with your daughters. It's amazing with my nieces, with my sisters, your family. And it just has become such an amazing group. Again, I'm honored to be back with NHPO, the guys of NHPO, the women of NHPO, and bring you some amazing programming. And that's what I look forward to. And also look forward to sharing our Hey Comadre adventures.
Absolutely. And Marianne, you got to run out of here, but I'm going to take a quick picture, or let's see. Cheese.
I love you guys. Thank you.
Yes.
So much
thank you for being here.
Bye.
Yes. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Itza. Bye-bye, Marianne.
Bye, y'all. And thank you. And we will see all of you with Hey Comadre.
That's
and
right.
Thank you, Claudia, for this amazing show.
Absolutely.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night. Y ahora ya estuvimos aquí al aire with episode number 310 with La Super Comadre Claudia of Radio Crystal USA, catching up. And also bringing in my comadres from Hey Comadre podcast and catching up with, with us three, and what's going on with life and beyond. So, Liliana, ¿dónde estás? Por favor, preséntate, si se puede. Bueno, pues aquí andas. So, we're closing it up, but it was a great time. I'm glad we had a chance to connect, you and I, even if it's for a little while, Liliana.
Exacto, sí. Just a little while.
Just a little while. So,
en vivo, aquí recuperándome, comadre.
Ay, sí, porque pues ya, me dijiste lo que te pasó con la ¿cómo se dice? La gripe. ¿Cómo se dice en español? La flu.
Sí, es la gripe.
La gripe, ¿verdad?
Influenza.
Okay. La influenza. Yo no quiero la influenza.
Oh, no.
Maybe influencer,
Yeah,
yes, but not influenza. No, pero me alegra que estás bien, que ya te estás recuperando. Mucho mejor. Y ahí adelante vamos a hablar un poquito más de una celebración que vamos a tener para celebrar tantos años que tiene la radio.
15 años al aire.
I know. Radio Cristal is 15 years old. So, we gotta celebrate. Let me know.
Vamos a estar celebrando la quinceañera.
Ahora despierta el radio de Cristal. I'm making up a song now.
No, pero sí, hay que celebrar a lo grande y bueno, muy pronto vamos a enviar la invitación a todo el mundo.
Sí, para que nos podamos reunir y we're going to remember and we're going to connect, remember the past episodes. Hopefully we can get some of those first guests that came on and just have a good time, connect and share, and let's see where else we're going with RadioCristalUSA.com. Adiós. Gracias por haber estado aquí en el show Catching Up with Claudia. ¿Tan? ¿Ya terminamos? Ok, bye.